into a slightly different territory this week as we come back to what is really one of my absolutely favorite patterns that I learned from my teacher. We have touched on this in the past, but like all of the more intermediate level practices, it really does behoove us to practice it regularly so that we can establish some level of comfort with the technique, so that we can progress with it. Now, October is an interesting time of the year, Ayurvedically. We are on the other side of the equinox, but it does seem, to my eyes anyway, this year, that the chaotic weather has sort of spilled out over the borders that it normally establishes. And so what I'm trying to say is that it's likely that all three doshas are still a little bit aggravated. And what I'm hearing and seeing a lot of at the moment are those springtime colds and still a few lurgies floating around in the community. This particular pattern is wonderful to stoke the immune system, which is why we're making it a key feature of this morning's practice. So my hope is that after our practice this morning, you're going to feel very awake and bright and energized, and that you enjoy that space during the day and any day that you decide to practice with this recording. We're going to begin with a few rounds of our jivha bandha, just getting the tongue, the lymph, the tissues and the energy in and around the throat moving well. So when you are ready, please seal your tongue up against the roof of the mouth, especially the back of the tongue. It is useful, once you think your tongue is in position, to initiate your natural sucking or swallowing reflex, just to feel the tongue is sealed there nicely, and then begin to hinge the lower jaw open, keeping the tongue against the ceiling of the mouth like so. And you can just hold that there, keeping the breath moving, enjoying that beautiful release of tension. Especially useful if you tend to clench or grind your teeth at night. If you talk for a living, we'll take several rounds of the jivha bandha. If you are very familiar and comfortable with the jivha bandha, you might like to explore with tipping the chin up and playing with the angle of the skull as you hold that suctioned tongue in position like this. Good. If you sense that you would benefit from a longer hold or a few more rounds of your jivha bandha, then please do stay and work with it. Otherwise, we're moving on now to our simhasana. Simhasana is just a normal relaxed inhale through the nose. And then as we exhale, we're exhaling through the mouth whilst really protruding the tongue out as far as we can and stretching the eyes up toward the hairline, pulling a very ugly face and exhaling with a lot of energy in the throat, just like this. So when you're ready, please take a few rounds. We want the exhalation to be energized and to have a little bit of friction or vibration, but never to the point of strain or creating tension. If you are on the tail end of one of those respiratory viruses that's been making its way through the community, you might notice that this kriya elicits your coughing reflex. Do not be concerned. Please go with it. It's just the lungs trying to clear themselves. It's good to aim to get about 5 to 7 rounds of your simhasana. Right. When you are ready, let's come to settle. Establishing yourself in your own best upright seated position, whether that's on the chair or on the floor. Important to ensure that the legs and the lower back are well propped so that the spine can rise easily from the pot of the pelvis. As we arrive, just relaxing and softening the shoulders, the invitation is to sit with the palms of the hands turning to face the ceiling. This will bring the shoulders into a little bit of external rotation, or the upper arm bones, I should say, which will hopefully help the rib cage to move really freely. We'll open with a few rounds of our reset breath. Please exhale completely. Take a big, boisterous inhale through the nose. Hold on to that. Top it up with a second nasal inhale. And out through the mouth slowly. Again, big nasal inhale. Second top up nasal inhale. And exhale slowly through the mouth. You might even purse your lips like you're exhaling through a straw to slow the breath down. Please take 3 more rounds of your reset breath now on your own. Special attention on the second top up inhale, feeling it really maximally inflating the lungs, and allowing the exhale to be very slow and deliberate. When you are ready, please close down your eyes. If you prefer, you can, of course, leave the eyelids just resting at half mast, and we'll descend the eye gaze toward the nose. A very gentle eye gaze. Bringing the tongue to rest up against the roof of the mouth. And come to meet your breath. Moving your breath very slowly and very smoothly in and out through the nose. Allowing your attention to settle within the channels of the nostrils. Paying attention to the feeling of the breath. The cool air entering the nose. The slightly warmer air leaving the body. With the attention still in the nostrils, allow yourself to notice if one of your nostrils feels more or less open than the other. There is nothing to be done. Just notice. And if at any stage during the practice, one of your nostrils feels congested, remember to place your tennis ball or a rolled up pair of socks or something similar beneath the opposite armpit to the nostril that feels congested. And now please, sending some of your attention down into the rib cage, sensing how the rib cage is moving with the breath. Encouraging your breath to slow down and feeling the lower borders of the rib cage lifting and spreading, welcoming a very three-dimensional breath. Encouraging a softness in the belly, and perhaps even turning the corners of the mouth up slightly. And now, when you are ready, please begin to welcome the familiar sound and sensation of your Ujjayi technique. This technique underpins everything that we do in the practice. Take your time to establish this by very gently hugging the windpipe toward the back of the throat, in exactly the same way as you would if you were fogging up a mirror, but keeping the breath moving through the nose. Inviting yourself to use the texture and tone of the breath as tools, creating a sound and a sensation in your breath that is very smooth, very subtle, and very stable across the full length of each inhale and each exhale. Tongue rests against the roof of the mouth. Eyes gently gazing down toward the nose. And when you are ready, please begin now to take note of how long your inhalations are this morning. Counting a few cycles of breath. And once you have ascertained where your inhale has landed, please bring your exhalation up to meet it. Keep your mind anchored in the count. Allow your physical senses to remain engaged in the felt experience of either side of the breath. Allow yourself to become curious as to the different qualities of each side of the breath. The rising, swelling, pranic updraft of the inhalation. the descending, emptying downward, a panic pull of the exhalation. Invite yourself to settle here. Face and shoulders relaxed. Rib cage moving freely. The steady rhythm of the inhale and the exhale. When you are ready, please begin to stretch your inhalations out to twice their current length. The challenge is always on the longer side of the breath. Invite yourself to use the Ujjayi technique, that valve-like mechanism in the throat, to slow the inhale down. Sipping and savoring the inhale, drawing it in slowly and smoothly through the nostrils, across the palate, allowing it to gather in the pit of the throat before drawing it down deep into the bottom, the back, and the sides of the lungs. If you sense that the double length inhale is beyond your reasonable capacity, then shave off 2 counts. Keep your mind anchored in the count. Smooth and subtle Ujjayi. We begin now to overlay our Surya Vedana pattern, just using our attention for now, keeping the hands and arms relaxed. At the end of your next exhalation, bring attention into the right nostril for your long inhale. At the top of the inhale, shift attention into the left nostril for the half-length exhale. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale, left. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Please continue on your own. Maintaining your smooth and subtle ujjayi technique. Shifting your attention from nostril to nostril. Keeping your mental energy contained in the process of counting. At the end of your next exhale, with attention in the left nostril, let go of the count, let go of the pattern. Allow your breath to return to its natural, quiet state. And take a moment to simply sit and abide in the space that you are cultivating. If you feel the need to readjust your seat, please do so now. We have reached the apex of our practice this morning. We are about to combine our Bastrika kriya with that pattern that we were just working with, our Surya Vedana, inhaling right, exhaling left, with our ratio 2:1, the inhale twice as long as the exhale. When we combine these two patterns, it is very stimulating, gently heating, awakens the metabolism, the immune system, the lymphatics. And as I said earlier, is one of my favorite patterns. A reminder with the Bastrika that it is an active inhale and a very passive exhale. It's in through the nose and out through the mouth, please. And it is useful to take a few practice pumps with your hands up on your chest. When you practice, you don't need to worry about moving the hands, but just for now, to make sure that you've got the right technique, you can rest the hands up near the collarbones on the chest. And we inhale through the nose, and the exhale is a very gentle puff of an exhale like this. We'll be taking 15 rounds of our Bastrika. The 15th and final exhalation is longer and more deliberate to make room for our long inhale through the right nostril and our half-length exhale through the left nostril. We will be taking 5 to 7 sets of this pattern. It is not unusual to notice some tingling in your lips or maybe in your fingers or toes. Please do not be concerned. This is part of the magic. At the very end, you will be left in some space and silence. Please don't think that I have abandoned you. But one of the benefits of this particular pattern is that it sometimes enables us to inhabit that space of Kevala kumbhaka, the holy grail of pranayama, where the movement of the breath is temporarily suspended. It's much more likely in this combination that we have the opportunity to sit in that space because the bloodstream has become really hyperoxygenated. And so the chemoreceptors in the brainstem can be quiet. There isn't that impetus to breathe. Don't overthink this, of course, just take it as it comes. When you're ready, just checking back in with your seat, making sure that you are well supported, and a reminder to use your ujjayi for your inhales and exhales, not in the Bhastrika. Here we go. Bhastrika. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Long exhale now. 15. Attention in the right nostril. Take your long ujjayi inhale. Attention in the left nostril. Your half length ujjayi exhale. Bhastrika. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Long exhale now. 15. Right nostril inhale. Left nostril exhale. Bhastrika. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Long exhale now. 15. Long inhale, right nostril. Short exhale, left nostril. Bhastrika. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Long exhale now. 15. Inhale, right nostril. Exhale, left nostril. Bhastrika. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Long exhale now. 15. Inhale, right nostril. Exhale, left nostril. Bhastrika. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Long exhale. 15. Long inhale, right nostril. Short exhale, left nostril. And now nothing. Allow your breath to return to its quiet state when you feel the urge. Please settle back into your ujjayi. Simple, smooth. Inhale and exhale. No counting. Listening and sensing into the quality of the breath. Keeping it smooth, subtle, and sincere. Rebalancing the system now with our Analom Vilom Nadi Shodhana. No counting, just a smooth ujjayi breath with full attention. At the end of your next exhale, bring awareness to the right nostril and inhale. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Please continue on your own. Smooth, velvety ujjayi technique. Curious attention shifting from nostril to nostril. Stay with this. At the end of your next exhale through the right nostril, let go of that pattern. Taking your time now to carefully make your way onto your back for your Shavasana. Propping yourself in whatever way feels supportive for your body. And trying not to disrupt yourself too much on the way down. As you arrive, consider turning the palms of the hands to face the ceiling, gently scooping the lower corners of the shoulder blades up and underneath you, nestling them closer to the spine. Encouraging broadness across the chest, allowing the toes to fall away from the heels. This morning, as we settle in our Shavasana to absorb and digest the practice, we will work with a simple spinal wash awareness. As you inhale, sending your attention from the tailbone up to the tongue and the top of the spine. And as you exhale, tracing that same attention back down over the curves of the spine from the tongue to the tailbone. Gently washing the spotlight of your awareness up and down with each cycle of breath. Please stay with this until the sound of my voice summons you back. And at the end of your next exhale, let go of that pattern of attention. Invite some small movements into your fingers and your toes. Carefully rotating into the wrists and ankles. And gently swallowing to lubricate your throat. Please take whatever movements feel appropriate for you. Perhaps a yawn and a stretch, or a hug of the knees toward the chest. Slowly and carefully rolling onto your right hand side. If you have low blood pressure, please roll to the left. And take a moment here before very carefully and slowly curling your way to an upright seat. As you arrive in your seat, remaining for just a few more moments with the eyes closed, noticing how you have arrived here in this moment at the end of your practice, at the beginning of your day. Very slowly and gently floating the palms to meet one another in front of your heart, or if you prefer, just land one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. As we punctuate the end of our time together with gratitude and acknowledgement, as we offer our thanks for the gift of this day, our lives and our health, and as we extend our respects and acknowledgements to one another and to the custodians of this living tradition. And as always, my very sincere respect, gratitude, and affection to you all, my friends. Thank you for your company. Have a wonderful day. Let me know if you have any questions or feedback about these sessions.